On this episode of Patrol Tactical, we talk about how to disassemble a Glock magazine with just a punch. It is really simple. Stick around and I'll show you how. Hey guys, thanks for checking out this video. Glock magazine disassembly is actually one of the things that people make much harder than it needs to be. And this video is going to cover how to take apart a magazine, and we'll just use a full-size one, but the reality is whether you have a 26, 19, or a full-size 9, or even a 45 mag, they all disassemble the exact same way. Now what you'll need to disassemble the magazine is a punch, or a punch type tool. Now this one happens to be the original Glock armorer's tool. It just so happens I've epoxied it into a file handle just so I can get better ergonomics because I work on a lot of guns. Now the original Glock armorer's tool works just fine, or a regular punch works just fine too. Now to disassemble the rest of the Glock, you need a 3/32 punch, but to disassemble the magazine, any punch ranging from 3/32 all the way up to 5/32 would work just fine. Or if you get in a bind, you can even use a screwdriver. Just make sure it's a sturdy one and it can handle some bending type action or prying type leverage. Before we take apart the Glock magazine, I want to show you the pieces of the Glock magazine because it's important to know how they relate to each other and how they fit with each other and when you're taking the magazine apart. So the first piece of the Glock magazine is the largest piece, and that is the magazine tube or magazine body, depending on which term you like. There are different generations that have come across over the years. The original ones were not steel lined, but pretty much all of them now are steel lined. And if you have some of those non-steel lined ones, you know what you have. On the magazine body, an area to look at is on the bottom, you can see this small protrusion right there. And that is important because that directly fits the floor plate. So when we take apart the magazine, you'll definitely get a better understanding of how that little protrusion there fits into the floor plate. Inside the magazine, we'll start from the top to the bottom. At the very top is the follower. Then we have the spring. Now the follower just simply unsnaps from the spring like so, and it snaps back together. We have the magazine insert. And again, a point to make reference to is this little protrusion or this little nub right there. And that interfaces with the floor plate. And then the last piece is, of course, the floor plate. Now how everything locks together is the magazine insert actually fits and locks in the floor plate. You can see there's a hole in the magazine floor plate, and that directly fits this little small protrusion of the insert, locks together. So those two pieces lock together, and then the magazine floor plate locks onto the magazine. On these pieces, there's one on each side, and you can see on the floor plate there's cutouts right there, and that's where those kind of will interface. It doesn't go on like you'd think. It actually slides on it, but then it locks into place right into those areas right there. So that's how everything fits together. Now, when we take it apart, everything is going to be compressed like so and then locked on. So what we need to do is we need to get the magazine insert out of the way. So that's key. And once you get the magazine insert out of the way, the rest is simple. So let's get to it. Now we're ready to take this apart. Now, in order to take this apart, we need to get the insert out of the way of the floor plate. And in order to do that, we need to take our punch and we need to insert right there at that hole where you can see the protrusion of the magazine insert through the floor plate, fast and hard to get that out of the way.
Hey!
No jokes. Sorry, it's tough to find good help. What were you gonna say?
That's what she said.
No, all right, back on track. So we need to take our punch, and I'll hopefully get this so you guys can see it on camera. And again, you gotta go fast to get that insert out of the way. You gotta knock it out of the way so it falls to like this type of a position, if that makes sense. So let's do it, here we go. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab a hold of the magazine body, and I like to put my thumb on the back here on my right hand, and then I'll just be pushing down in a leverage motion of the punch like so, just like that. And then you can see how the floor plate just moved forward just a little bit to get it off of those notches that I was telling you about earlier. Now don't rush to just take it right apart because it is under spring pressure and we don't want to launch that at our face. So now what we're going to do is put our thumb over here so we protect that from launching, And we're just going to move forward with the punch. Then we can just slide the floor plate forward, set it aside. And again, we're under spring pressure. We can take the insert and the spring and follower. Now we have disassembled the Glock magazine. So that's just how easy it is to do, but everybody, for whatever reason, thinks you need to squish these and make special tools and pliers, and in reality, all you need is a punch. That's it. So let's put it back together. Go ahead and put the follower inside the magazine body with the spring. Take the insert, and I will compress the spring with the insert, and then just kind of hold it in place like that. Take the floor plate, and you'll see these grooves here, and they just go on the grooves of the magazine body, and just get it started until you get to those 2 notches. And then basically you'll just push straight back to power those, and everything will lock right in place. You heard that click. That is just how easy it is to disassemble and reassemble a Glock magazine. Now, one quick note is you don't want to add any oil or lubrication. Just take it apart, wipe everything down, clean off the dirt, the gunk, and put it back together. It does not require any lubrication at all. So make sure to keep this dry. Make sure you do regular maintenance on your magazines, and of course, make sure you number your magazines. And mine's actually numbered with here on Sharpie, so it's a little tougher to see. But make sure you do those things as well, just to keep up on your maintenance, and you can keep track of magazines if they start giving you issues. If you guys like what you have just seen, I would really appreciate you to like, share, and subscribe. Also check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/patroltactical. Whenever you shoot, make sure you do so safely, and have a great day. Thanks for watching.